Hi, this is Michael Williams from the Knoxville Daily Sun. Today, we're going out to a ghost town. How would you like to come to the Smokies on your vacation and check out an actual ghost town? Well, we have one right here in the Smokies. It's in the Elkmont community near the Elkmont Campground, and it's called Daisy Town. Now, Daisy Town was founded in 1908 by a logging company. And at first, they built 80 cabins to accommodate all of the men who worked on the logging crews. And in 1910, they built Daisy Town. Daisy Town had more than 80 cabins at one time, and most of those cabins were rented or sold to wealthy people from Knoxville who would come over here for hunting trips or come over here for vacations. And at the end of Daisy Town, there was a large building called the Appalachian Club. The Appalachian Club was a very upscale restaurant. It was a black tie type restaurant, very formal. And people would get there. They had butler service there. They would get there and they would have fine meals, excellent cuisine. Then they could sit out on the porch in these rocking chairs and just take in the natural beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Now, there was a train that came from Knoxville through Daisy Town and went into North Carolina. And then, of course, it did the return. And that train track is gone now, and it's now a road you can use to walk to Daisy Town and see the abandoned houses. There are 15 abandoned houses still standing, and people can go inside each and every one of them. It's an actual ghost town. Now, when the park was built in 1931, they abandoned Daisy Town. Well, let me back up. The original plan was to have everybody leave Daisy Town, but because these people had leases with the lumber company, they had to honor the leases. So they agreed to give them lifetime leases in exchange for their cabin. So at the end of their leases, as these folks would die off, they would cede their land back to the national park. And the last one left Daisy Town in 1992. So since 1992, for 34 years now, it's been sitting abandoned. It's a ghost town. And it was very unique. These folks would come over here for hunting trips or vacationing. Now, sometimes the men, the man of the family, would bring his family over, and they would go and they would stay in the cabin. And he would stay for the weekend and then return back to Knoxville and stay there throughout the week, and then come back on the weekends on the train. And it was Daisy Town provided these folks with a great respite from all their labors, and it also got them away from the city heat. The Smoky Mountains could be a lot cooler than the city because, of course, it's a rainforest, and we do get sporadic rain from time to time throughout the days, and a lot of times the wind comes through that helps to cool things off. And of course, there's all the shade that provides some relief from the heat. And then we got all the creeks and the streams and the rivers that provide plenty of ample places to go swimming to cool off. So Daisy Town was a very popular getaway for the weekends or for vacations. And a lot of people used it as a summer home. But it's now a ghost town. Now, there's a story that comes out of Daisy Town. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. I'm going to relate it to you, and you can decide whether you believe it or not. But there was a train coming through. It was a cargo train. It didn't carry passengers. It was supposed to be strictly for cargo. And the train left North Carolina and was coming through Daisy Town and headed to Knoxville. There was a couple of men who needed to get to Knoxville. So they made a deal with the engineer. They would give him $5 if he would let them ride on the caboose. So he agreed to it, and they got on the back of the caboose, and they were riding to Knoxville. And shortly after they departed for Knoxville, one of the men broke out a bottle of liquor and turned to the porter and asked him, if you can get us 2 cups of ice, there's a quarter in it for you. And back in the 1930s, that was big money. So the porter thought about it for a minute. It's a cargo train. Where's he going to get ice from? Then he thought of a place where he could get some. So he went and got 2 cups of ice and brought it back to the gentleman. He gave him a quarter. And about 15, 20 minutes later, he asked for 2 more cups of ice. So the porter brought him 2 more, and he gave him 50 cents this time, 75 cents. That's a pretty good amount of money back in the 1930s. So finally, as Knoxville was coming up on the horizon, he asked him, "We need 2 more cups of ice. There's $1 in it for you." And the porter said, "Oh, I would love to do that for you, but the engineer's already gotten on to me. He told me if I keep taking that ice, that body won't keep till it gets to Knoxville." Whether or not it's true, I don't know. It comes from apocryphal sources. But anyway, when you do one more thing, when you do come to Daisy Town or Elkmont, be sure to stop at the Sugarlands Visitor Center because everybody is required to have a car tag now. It's a $5 parking pass, but it allows you to park just about anywhere you want to in the park. It is required. And Smoky Mountains is the only national park in the country that does not charge a fee for entry. There's no entrance fee. But we do have a parking fee, and that money goes to help maintain the roads and maintain the park. So it goes for a good cause. And I do want to go ahead and apologize to you for the quality of my voice on this video. The pollen in the air was thicker than gravy, and as a result, my allergies were acting up, so I sound kind of nasally. But anyway, this is Daisy Town, and I'm Michael Williams with the Knoxville Daily Sun. By the way, if you want to advertise with us, call Janine Payne at the Knoxville Daily Sun, and she can get you some great rates. And we have more than 100,000 readers and more than 500,000 visitors to our website each month. So give Janine Payne a call, and she'll be more than happy to help you take care of that. But anyway, enjoy Daisy Town. And by the way, Daisy Town would be a great way to spend Halloween, wouldn't it? I mean, think about this. Come up here for Halloween. And during the daytime, you want to go to Daisy Town so you can say that you actually visited an actual ghost town on Halloween Day. And then after you leave there, go to Gatlinburg and go to the Strip. You can, if you walk up and down the Strip at all the stores and everything up there in the Strip, all the stores are usually giving out candy and treats to people anywhere from the age of 1 to 101. So if you fall within that age bracket, and I'm pretty sure you do, you're more than welcome to walk up and down the Strip, get you some free candy, free treats, and while you're at it, take a ghost tour. There's some really great ghost tours that goes up and down the parkway and tells you some wonderful ghost stories. Great way to spend Halloween. But anyway, enjoy Daisy Town. Okay, this is the ghost town. This is Daisy Town, which is part of Elkmont. In this small area, there's about 10 or 12 cabins or homes that were abandoned back in the 1930s. And in the back, there's a old resort. We're going to check that out in just a few minutes. And you're, of course, welcome to go inside the cabins and look around, see how people lived back in the 30s and 40s. Spacious homes. Of course, families were a lot bigger back then. Oh, look, this one still has an old stove from the era. When they built the national park in the 1940s, everybody who lived in this area had to leave their homes. They sold their homes to the government, and then they had to move out. And the homes are left here, and they're still being maintained by the National Park Service. Here's a restroom here. They had to enclose it this way to keep anybody from using it, because there's no water running into the house. An old fireplace. Kept pioneer families warm back in the day. Let's go to the next house. Now we're going into number 13. You'd think they would rent these cabins out to people, to campers at least. Let's see what's inside this house. Interesting architecture. Nothing extravagant. Rooms were so much more spacious back in those days. And it appears these folks were not blessed to have indoor plumbing. Well, at least no indoor restroom. Now the buildings here have all been restored after the park was created. Many of them fell into disrepair. Now that first house that we went into, which is right there, got a photo of what the house looked like before renovations and after renovations. The National Park Service is responsible for the maintaining and upkeep of these houses, and they preserve them for historical reasons. This is another one of the houses. Not sure what the name of this one is. It's an enormous house. Relative to modern standards, the rooms of these houses are very large. So this is the dining room and the living room. Well, this would be the living room, I'm assuming. This is the room I like right here. It's right close to the creek. You can hear the water from here. The visitors are welcome to get out and walk through all of the houses. There's at least 10 of them still standing. And most of these buildings were cabins that were rented on weekends or on vacations by wealthy people who just wanted to escape the big city and get off into the Smokies. And as you can see, some of them are rather rustic. And the architecture of these buildings reflect a eclectic style of architectural designs meant to represent getting back to nature, such as this one, to a more modern stance, such as the one that we've seen just a few moments ago. Now, this one was clearly designed by a person with very modest taste. Simple one-room cabin with fireplace, perfect for a single man. Not so sure a family could be accommodated here. Behind it is an even smaller cabin. And all of these cabins sit abandoned in Daisytown in the Elkmont community, not far from the Elkmont Park, the Elkmont Campground, excuse me. Again, more abandoned buildings. Yeah, I like the stone wall here. And yet another cabin, log cabin. And there's a restrooms if you have a nature call. And in the back of Daisytown is the Appalachian Club. This was once a very exclusive restaurant for only the wealthy. Here they had butler service. Everything was white tie here, very upscale. These days they use it as an event center. And on the days that they don't have events, you're welcome to go up on the porch and rock in the rocking chairs that people rocked in more than 60 years ago. And the Appalachian Club was built in 1910. So it's more than 100 years old. A minute ago I said you could go on the porch and sit on the rockers that people used more than 60 years ago. It was actually a century ago some of these rockers were in use. And they are bolted down so nobody can walk off with them. They are historic artifacts. And remember, everything here belongs to the National Park Service, which is property of the federal government. And you don't want to get those guys on you.